Welcome Pisces to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 12th of August for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon. Your great talent is to be very supportive to others, and you can be truly very giving and sacrificing, and that's something to really admire. But it's also important at times to understand that none of us can pour from an empty jug. Saturn continues in your first house, therefore your energy is finite. And Saturn is going to be very influential this week, but the week also begins with a quarter moon in your sister water sign of Scorpio. That's pushing you to break out, do something a little bit different, a more spontaneous move, whereas the Sun angling to the Moon is reminding you of your obligations. But one of the things you can do with that quarter moon throughout this week is not promise to cover for someone who wants some time off, or to pledge to support someone down the track, which could become a little bit of a yoke on your shoulders future forwards. And also at the heart of this week, the combination between your ruler Jupiter and Mars can make you very warm-hearted and very determined to make things happen around your home and family situation, perhaps even some do-it-yourself, decluttering, or supporting someone close to you. But Saturn squares up to those two. And also, as the week goes on, Mercury joins the Sun in the part of your chart to do with work, obligations and details, but it's still in retrograde, and they're both stressed by the electric, freedom-loving energy of Uranus at the end of this week. So as much as it's very much deeply ingrained in your nature to be sacrificing, to help and support others, by the end of this week, as Venus, the planet of relating, goes opposite Saturn in your sign, I feel if you're feeling that you're being taken for granted, not being seen or heard, appreciated, even respected, that other side of your nature, which is almost like a polar opposite of the giver, can come into play, and you may find yourself wanting to be much more detached, much more distant, to remind someone not to just take you for granted. So whether it's at home, whether it's at work, whether it's around a relationship, this is a good week to think about your boundaries, because there's enough in the astrology there to see you get caught up in helping others in the way you can. But it's important, particularly around shared chores, whether it is at work. If you feel that you're someone who always does the jobs that no one else wants to do, Mercury rewinding back into Leo would be a good time for you to stage a little bit of a rebellion as it and the Sun square up with Uranus, and actually say how you feel. Someone may be surprised. And then, as I mentioned, Venus in your sector of relating opposite Saturn in your sign, maybe the time has come to really set a boundary. It could even be with your kids if you have them. Everybody needs to find the right balance between give and get. That's part of the trick of life. It's part of the trick of how we can work with astrology. And as much as that great gift of yours is to be very kindly, very thoughtful and very supportive, it's also vital that you apply all of those energies to your own needs too. Have a great week, Pisces. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Please check out my year 2025 personal horoscope forecast special offer with the link beneath this video.